Discovering truth. Discovering truth. I'm listening.
Hello viewers, and welcome again to Discovering Truth, and I am Pastor Forbes from the Abiding Word Ministries here in the Gambia. Well, this is going to be our final part of the 4-part episode on celebrating 30 years of Discovering Truth. And again, there's a lot of gratitude in my heart. I want to say thanks to all who have been a part of the celebration, and just to commit to pushing for, who knows, maybe another 30 years? I don't know. But I remember saying that when I looked in retrospect, I came out with 7 things, 7 principles, 7 guiding points that I think describe or lend credence to the longevity of something, not just in its longevity, but its effectiveness, its relevance. Because 30 years ago, we were in 1996, and politically, it was a fluid time, and on many parameters, I'm sure the exchange rate between the dollar and the dollar C was nowhere where it is today. Certainly, some of the developments we see in the country were nowhere. Certainly, there was no university. We had just had a television station just 8 months prior. But when something goes on for this long and people testify to its relevance, to its continued authenticity, to its contextualization, to the fact that even those who thought there might be an agenda for it, they rest their oars and say, well, look, this is just to help build up the discovery of truth, the development on truth, the deployment of truth, the application of truth in our lives, making us a people who would love truth, live truth, be guided by truth, and bring up a society like that under God. So I said that when you see something, any endeavor, any enterprise, any commitment that has gone on for 3 decades or more, there must be certain thoughts, principles, underlying convictions that keep this level of consistency and relevance for this long, regardless, because there's nothing you will do that will not have challenges, teething problems, and certainly sometimes active, subtle, or in-your-face opposition, mischaracterization, misconception, your own frailties, your failures, and all that. Times when you want to give up. And then I am looking back today at over 30 years and saying there were 7 things that were meaningful to me, which I will keep not just because I speak on television, but as part of the guiding principles of my life. And all these 7 really find themselves in God. Outside of that, I am not able to talk about that. And quite honestly, I believe there's nothing outside God. So the first one was that to last this long, there must be a sense of purpose, vision, mission, and a strategy. Because somebody said if you don't know where you're going to, any road will take you there. Because you don't know where you're going to. You won't even know you've arrived. So there was a deep sense of purpose. There was purpose behind the name. There was a purpose for the name. And here we are, 30 years later. There are all kinds of people who have been encouraged, helped, blessed, transformed by it. And for me, all the glory goes to God because He gave the grace and the strength to be able to do this week after week. from 96 in June 1996 all the way through now and continuing. And here we are in July 2026. So we started our 31st year and the first month. The second thing I said was that when you have this vision to be able to carry something that long, there must be a certain level of determination, which I call the sold out determination, and a certain level of focus, which I call razor sharp focus, risabunyao, that once you touch it, it will cut you. You must be focused, you must be determined, and you must be sold out in your preparation. That will never fail you. Somebody said poor preparation produces poor performance. P. Poor preparation or poor practice produces poor performance. So there were always ideas in my head. Even if it was a series I was doing, I knew what was leading to, like in this one. The third thing I said, I wonder whether there is any person who has undertaken any endeavor for this long or more, or even 20 years, who is just by themselves. Only them, no friend, no family, no encouragement, nothing, not even opposition. It's just you. I'm sure we know that's not possible, because at the very least, we come into this world with two people making us, whether we know them, whether we see them, even if it's IVF, even if it's surrogacy, even if it's some kind of technology. That sperm has to come from a man and the egg from a woman. And by the grace of God, we're nurtured into existence and forward. So I wrote here, strong support, family, friendship, people who believed in you, mentors, just strong support. Because with strong support, when you want to give up, people tell you continue. Without strong support, you throw in the towel because you are making conclusions on your own biases, on everything you feel. But all you feel is not the reality of what can happen. Number 4, I said, for anything to last this long, there has to be a sense of critical self-examination and, of course, monitoring. If it's a business, you'll say M&E, monitoring and evaluation. But I was looking at myself, monitoring what I'm doing, and apart from everybody, because in life, people can clap for you. But you know how they say that the good can become the enemy of the best? Because sometimes you can look so good, feel so good, sound so good that you relax yourself. But there was that self-evaluation, critical self-evaluation. Am I doing this wrong? And for those who don't know, there are a lot of people I know who will speak and never like to listen to themselves. They don't want a playback because they're critical, and that's good, and they feel that if they listen, they'll feel disappointed. I can be like that too, but I tend to listen to everything I've done, even sermons I preach. I want to hear me again and see, did I cut it right? Was I logically, was it sequential, and all that? Did it hit where it should hit? So critical self-examination, self-evaluation. Then number 5, and this is where we ended last week, we said taking feedback and maintaining a teachable and learning attitude and disposition. As they say, the day you stop learning, you start dying. The day you think you know it all, you have problems, mega problems. So I continue to learn, of course, grow in my relationship, be stronger in my faith, in my convictions, but be able to be more broad in my perspectives so that I can bring contextualized answers, solutions, positions on sometimes very tricky issues. It's very easy to take a left or right binary answer. It's easy. But sometimes when you have to walk through a spectrum, you have to do a lot of talking and a lot more of listening. And so taking feedback, maintaining a teaching attitude, a learning disposition would always help. And that has helped me. As I told you, I have my mentor who I'm always in touch with, and I have my family. I have people around me. I have the church. I have people around me. I have people outside this country and in this country, people who I look up to. Some are big brothers, some are father figures, look up to them. Some are mother figures, some are aunts. I just ask them. And with wisdom, you can even get it from a little child. So my antenna is always up in listening and, all right, okay, the way this man phrased this thing is a better way to speak than the way I phrased it. And so feedback, I've always called feedback the oxygen of a speaker. It's something I teach in public speaking. It's called the 8 elements of the public speaking process. And number 5, for all those who have gone through training, almost 1,000 people now, they will tell that number 1 is the speaker, number 2, the message, number 3, the channel that you use your mouth, number 4, the audience that you speak to, number 5 is feedback. You must take feedback. And there's 6, 7, and 8, but of course I can't tell you everything here. You must come for the training. And so feedback is important. Now I want to end with the last 2, 6 and 7. Number 6, I wrote down necessary tweakings for continuous contextual relevance and keeping a step ahead. The world we lived in 1996 is definitely not the world we are living now with AI in 2026. So when you do something, there is need for monitoring and evaluation, as I said. There is a need for feedback. There is a need also for making the necessary adjustments and tweakings, what the people in construction call variation, even though it comes at a cost. But yes, little tweaking, little readjusting, updating. We have it. Our phones upgrade all the time. Our TVs upgrade. Those of you who have gadgets, Amazon Fire TV, Hulu, and you wake up and it upgrades. Laptops. Because it has to be relevant to the things that are happening now. Teachers, upgrading causes. All of us, some kind of upgrading. Because that keeps us relevant, keeps us on the cutting edge, and sometimes even keeps us a step ahead. The whole issue of blockchain technology, cryptocurrency, AI, and all that, we all know it's going to be the future. We're going to wake up one day and fungible currency and paper currency would be extinct. Because as we are living, there's some things that we thought we will ever live with. They're extinct. Some of them are maybe minimally being used. Take, for example, the young people of the world, those who have this phone gadgets. How many young people listen to news on TVs? No, everything is on this little thing. How many people want to do personal shopping and go to this boutique and that boutique and buy and go to this shop? Most people are doing online. And there are delivery institutions. You can shop online. Your groceries can come and meet you at home. There's just so many things. So overheads are coming down. There are places where they are called smart spaces, open spaces, spaces where you can go and do your work and pay money and go. You don't necessarily need an office with a secretary and all that. It's just amazing how things have changed. Electric vehicles. Wow. And so we have to do the necessary tweaking, which means we must keep abreast with global realities and certainly with spiritual realities. And that comes first. because it's from the strength of prayer and knowing God that I can speak with confidence. And the seventh one, the final one, is gratitude, honor, thanksgiving, and humility. You know, every time there's a celebration, we all feel happy. Any kind of celebration, you're happy, you're joyful. Sometimes you like the attention that it brings. But somewhere in your mind, you have to keep gratitude to God. Give gratitude to God. Always be thankful. And always be humble. Because, ladies and gentlemen, none of us is indispensable. We are just here at the goodness and the mercy and the kindness and the love and the forgiveness of Almighty God. And sometimes when tragedy happens, especially certain kinds of tragedies like accidents, you just get shocked. I was talking to her just 10 minutes ago. I saw her drive off with the car. I mean, we had dinner last night. You hear people speak like that. He said he was going to bed. I went to bed, woke up in the morning, and he's gone. And once that phrase happens, he's gone. I remember many, many years ago, I was trying to touch base with a particular staff of a hotel in Dakar that I used to frequent very often, just in transit, traveling outside the country. And he was such a nice, tall gentleman. Everybody knew him. And I wanted to make a reservation, and I called him. He didn't answer, but somebody answered and said, Genanache Adunan. He has gone out from the world, or he has been removed from the world. It was a shock for me to hear that, because it's not vocabulary I do every day. He has gone out of the world. He has been taken out of the world. And once that is said, everything about you and I is past tense. He was, she was, they used to be. Everything is past tense. There is a final full stop on this side of eternity about everything you did and all the things. And people say, look at this, look at what he started, look at that. It's all changed. So while we have the breath, gratitude, thanksgiving, and humility are important in all we do. And in many ways, I have said thank you, shown my gratitude, certainly first to God. I've paid my respects and gratitude to all who have been part of this 30-year journey. And I'll always be grateful for them and for those who are with me as we continue, and for all who listen every week. So let me go over the 7. There are 7 thoughts, principles, convictions that underlie a certain level of consistency and relevance in any sphere of endeavor, regardless where you are, regardless what. Somebody started with no money, started with an idea, and now it's a conglomerate. 2 people were struggling somewhere, and they got to know each other. They decided, let's do a joint venture. Let's do a strategic alliance. And you look at what they have now and you say, wow, there has been a long journey. But in that journey, there has been purpose. And embedded in purpose is a mission, a vision, and a strategy. There has been preparation, sold out determination, and razor-sharp focus. There has been strong support, family support, friendship support. There have been people around, a team of agreement, a team of support. There has been regular monitoring and critical self-evaluation. So that you don't compete with others necessarily, you compete with yourself. Sometimes they say you play the war games or you do the devil's advocate against yourself. So you answer the what-if questions. Number 5, you take feedback and you maintain a teachable spirit and a learning disposition. Number 6, penultimate one, second to last, you do the necessary tweaks so that you are continuously contextually relevant in what you do and you keep a step ahead. And number 7, show gratitude, show honor, thanksgiving, and humility. And I'm ending this celebration month series by saying, with these 7 crucial qualitative characteristics, I believe any endeavor will last and outlive all storms of growth, development, and even acceptance, regardless the competition, healthy or inordinate. These 7 pointers have helped me navigate 3 decades of weekly speaking on television here. Even when some days were bad, as I gave some examples, even some days were challenging, and it was easy and sensible and maybe even seemingly respectful to quit, especially for something that you are doing pro bono. You're not being paid for it. But this is where all these 7 come in. Numbers 1 and 2 come in, and then 3 becomes a non-negotiable that keeps you going. 4, 5, and 6 keep you relevant, and 7 will always ground us in humility. I strongly believe, ladies and gentlemen, that with this 7, you will never fail, and you will not quit, and you will not regret. And so, I give God all the praise and all the glory, and I commit to continuing for as long as I have strength. Before I end this telecast, I'm sure we all know there is the Healing Jesus campaign with Evangelist Doug Mills starting tonight at the buffer zone. Today, tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, each evening. Be a part of it. You never know what God will do for you. And if you are in leadership, particularly spiritual leadership, tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday morning at the gateway in our church, Evangelist Doug Mills will be interacting and teaching from 8:30 in the morning to around midday. Join us and let's have a great time. So until I come your way next week, by the grace of God, this is Pastor Bob saying thank you for everything. 30 years, now we are putting it behind us and we are moving. We are now counting the first month of the 31st year and the second month, and so we will go until we come back and say 40 years, 50 years, and 60 years by the grace of God. Have a good day and take note of these things for your own business, for what you are doing. Check where you are and fit your businesses on in all this. And remember always to pray for God's guidance and pray in the name of Jesus Christ. God bless. I'll see you next week.
Discover